Hello! Oh, I just poked myself. How? Whoa. Ooh, okay, take two. Hello, everybody. Ooh, that sounded gross too. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Annika. If you want, you can go ahead and subscribe to me if you're not already subscribed. And if you are, thanks so much. I hope you like this video, so give it a thumbs up. But this isn't the end of the video, just so you know. This video is how it happened and how I got started into acting, or how it happened acting. I haven't decided the title yet, but you'll see it. Before I actually jump into that, I just want to say I am doing a 500 subscriber giveaway. Oh my goodness. If you didn't know that, that's probably because you don't follow me on Twitter. But if you do know that and you follow me on Twitter, thanks. You're awesome. My Twitter's right here. I actually tweet a lot more than I make YouTube videos, so if anything like that happens, it'll be on Twitter, and then I do make a video for that. The video is scheduled for December 23rd, so if you want, subscribe now so that you can be updated for that video. Ooh. Okay, but now I'm gonna jump right into acting, how it happened. Once upon a time, I lived in Minnesota. I was a 12-year-old Annika, and I decided to start acting. That's not necessarily how it started. Me with acting, everybody says that you should do and be a part of theater, and I wish that I was, but I wasn't. So I told my parents that I wanted to be an actor, and they kind of just said whatever. I researched on it. I literally spent all day, or all of my free time, working and figuring out how I could do or be an actor. And I found out that I needed an agency, or an agent or a manager. I don't need both. I could have both. I can go into whole video detail about that stuff if you want me to. I plan on doing an acting series, but I don't know what to call it, so if you have any suggestions, put it down below, but it'll come out every Monday, so there. Now I can still go into the video. When I was 12, I found this company that was an acting school in Minnesota. Their company name is Karen's International. I don't recommend them. I was basically scammed by them. They promised my mom and I a trip to New York, and that they would take us to New York, and they made it seem like this fantastic thing. You're going to New York, you're gonna find an agency, your people are gonna love your daughter. You should go, just give us money, 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 money. It was great and it wasn't great. I definitely do think that it's great if you do your own acting classes and if you do your own photos and don't listen to what they say, because they kept telling my mom and I that we had to have our photos taken with this certain photographer, or we had to have acting classes with this certain person, or we had to have our makeup artist by this certain person. Like, no, dude, I wish I would have known that I could do whatever I wanted. I didn't have to have a monologue that they told me I needed. I should have just looked at my own monologue and did my own thing. But I was new, naive. I wanted to listen to whatever they said because they were promising me, or they kept I don't know if you can say they were guaranteeing all these things, but they kind of made it seem like it was such a fantastic thing, and if I keep doing what they say, I'm gonna have such a great success rate. They took us to New York for this talent convention called IMTA. IMTA is basically a place where there's going to be thousands of casting directors, agencies, talent agencies, modeling agencies, managements, all of that stuff are going to be in one location for, I think it was a week or a weekend, I don't remember, but it was for a couple days, and they basically, you were put in competitions with other girls within your age range. Now, I, as a 12-year-old, was taller than girls in my age range. I was put in the preteens, so I think the age range went from like 8 to 12, and I was taller than all of them. I do wish that they would have put me in like the teens, because I was so tall, and everybody kept thinking that I was in the wrong age category. Like every time I would go in for the next competitions, they would always ask, "Are you sure you're supposed to be here?" I kind of wish that they would have put me within a little bit older, because I did look older, but I was younger, which in acting is not what you want, but I was tall, so that was my downside to it. Also, the other downside was we paid so much money for all of this, and none of the training really worked on me. Like, the coach that they had us work with, the acting coach out there, not the greatest. I have found so many better coaches out here in LA than I did out in Minnesota. And I get it, LA is bigger, but the coach in Minnesota literally was shit. I didn't want to swear, but I did. That's how bad he was. Ooh, burn! Sizzle, 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 sizzle. IMTA experience wasn't the greatest. It ended up making me really sad because I expected so much from it, but I got nothing out of it. There was a management out there located in LA that was interested in me when I was in New York. The only problem was that the company Karen's was telling that manager, well, you need to pay me up front if you want my talent. In this industry, you will learn, or you should know, and you need to know, if you ever want to get started, you never, ever, ever pay people up front. The school barbizons, sure, they sound great, but no. You can do so much better if you just move, or if you just look into agencies around your area, or if you're willing to drive to the closest big city. You should just do that, because I've learned so much more out in LA than I did being in those classes for like 6 months. I do want to say that IMTA did potentially like mold me and mold my actor, like gave me a base, because I never knew what a headshot was. I never knew what monologues were. I didn't know how to read a script, and I also didn't know the difference between the comedies. I didn't know much about those, so I do give IMTA the credit for teaching me those things. I also didn't know the difference between an agent and a manager. Sort of, I kind of did, but it didn't make as much sense to me until I went out to IMTA. So, yes, it helped. But I could have literally learned all that stuff by coming out to LA, meeting with an acting coach, ask them the questions, they explain it to me, and boom, I didn't have to pay thousands of money. IMTA was literally like $3,000, or a little, I want to say more, like $1,000 more. It was so freaking expensive. And I literally give a lot of credit and thanks to my parents for actually paying for me to go. That's crazy. I can't believe that happened. But going to IMT also got me great friends that I am actually friends with. One of them, out of like the group of 12 of us or 10 of us, I'm still friends with them now, so hi Jonah. But you probably don't even watch my videos, Jonah, so whatever. When agencies are interested in you at IMTA, you're expected to be prepared to just move right away and go with them, or that's what everybody kept saying. I soon realized that's not the case. If you don't live in town, that's okay, just as long as you can constantly make trips to go out there. I mean, some agencies will actually want you in town, and if they do want you in town, it's because they probably really believe in you and think that you have so much more potential, and you could do this as a full-time career if you moved and stay out there. My mom and I didn't do that. There was a few agencies that wanted us to move and be there, and my mom was kind of like, whoa, this is happening so fast. We need to put a break on it. Now my mom kind of regrets that she put a break on it, but whatever. But moving out to LA, it didn't happen until like 2 years after IMTA, and it was a decision made by my parents because of a choice that I made. I was really upset that nothing great had happened from IMTA. So with the headshots that I had from IMTA, I submitted to agencies and managements out in LA. And I did this without my parents really knowing. I'm very determined. If you tell me no, I'm still gonna do it. So I did that. I got a response from a few of them. A lot of them said that because I don't live in town, it's gonna be difficult for me to have auditions, because auditions can happen overnight. Like my agency can call me right now and say, oh, you have an audition for tomorrow. I have to be prepared for that. But there was a management out in LA, or a manager out in LA that was interested in me. His name is Roger. And he and my mom and I were talking for a really long time, preparing for me meeting with him. I ended up going out to LA the summer of me becoming an 8th grader. I met with Roger, and he said that he saw potential in me, but I wasn't up to, like, he was like kind of disappointed because we talked for such a long time that, and he was surprised that I wasn't as ready as he had wished that I was. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't prepare for that meeting very well as I should have. I kind of wish that I did, but you learn within time. Roger did tell me that he was going to take me under his wing and kind of like show me the ropes of becoming an actor, or like not becoming an actor, but kind of like being a well-rounded actor, because they want you to have dance experience or singing and acting and great photos. By the way, that is Daddy in the background. He's drinking water. Yeah, they want you to have all of that, and I got the pleasure of going to Millennium Dance Complex, which is a dance studio out in LA, which is a huge dance studio, meaning like it's famous huge. It's not huge in space. The hallways are really small, but Roger paid for like a walk-in class, which they have, and he said you picked on it very well is what he told me. After moving to LA and meeting with Roger, I did meet with a commercial agency who I did end up signing with. I'm no longer signed with them, but I'm not going to say the company on reasons why I'm no longer with them. And then I also met a theatrical agency. Commercial is basically commercial. Theatrical is film and television. And the first commercial audition that I got was like, I want to say a week after I signed with them, and it was a Burger King commercial. When I signed with my theatrical agent at the time, a week later I had my very first pilot audition, and that was for Bad Fairy, I want to say. It was a Nickelodeon pilot, but I did have really cool pilot auditions with them. Like, I've had many Disney pilots with them, and a few Nickelodeon pilots. I ended up leaving both of those agencies, and then I signed with my other theatrical agency that I'm no longer in ties with, because once the main department of youth, like her name is Kendria, once she left, their youth department, like their communications with me kind of went from here with Kendria, and then when she left it went from here, and it was to never be seen ever again. But when she was with the company, I've had really cool auditions. Like, I had many pilot auditions. I've had many guest star auditions. I actually booked a pilot called Dumb American Family, where I was a blonde, and I can show you a picture of that right here. It's also on my Instagram. When I booked it, I signed with my currently still signed with management company, Stein Entertainment, and they have gotten me really cool auditions as well. Some of the few auditions that I've had was like Red Band Society, Teen Beach 2, See Dad Run. That was my first ever callback in theatrical auditions. I've had The Thundermans, Blackish. Yeah, I've had really cool auditions, but See Dad Run was my favorite only because when I went in to go read for one part, and then the casting director was like, oh no, I think you're more of this part, you should audition for this part. And so they were like, if you have time, are you willing to sit for a few minutes and learn that part? And it literally only took me like 20 minutes to read, figure out the whole script, and kind of just read it out to myself and like present it and act it. And then I ended up getting a call back for that, so that was really cool. I didn't book it, but you know, I got to be in the callback, so that to me is like way more important than actually booking it, because if they call you back, that means like you've left your mark on someone. That sounds weird. My theatrical agency though, I'm no longer with them. I've left them, and now I have a new not theatrical, but a new commercial agency, and it is BBA Talent. I love them so much. They're amazing, and I cannot thank them enough for everything that they've done. I've gotten so many cool auditions, like the Sour Patch Kids. That was my first audition with them, and I ended up booking it. So that's a great way to start a relationship with any company. And then I also had recently a Panera Bread audition, and then that ended up leading to a callback. So I've actually had some really cool auditions. I also had like this Disney Infinity one, I want to say, where I met Jordan Dow, D-O-W-W. I had no idea who he was when I met him, but he was really nice, and he's as great as I am in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. So that's, you know, that's kind of how I started. Now I live out in LA because why not? LA is kind of where I found myself as a person, and I've been more comfortable being myself. I kind of felt like Minnesota wasn't meant for me my whole entire life, so moving out here to LA, I feel at home and more like I could do whatever I want because no one will care and judge me because everyone out here is so strange already, so like why not? But yeah, that's kind of like how I got started and how it happened in my acting career, and this is where I am now. I can go into more details about like anything that you have questions on with acting if you want me to. Just leave a comment down below on things that you want me to like talk more about in acting. I can do like how you can get started on acting. I think that's gonna be the next video, but yes, this video is over. It's only a few minutes long. I knew it was gonna be so long because I have so much to talk about. I hope that you really like this video, and I think I'm gonna do this series every Monday if or when I figure out what the title of the series is going to be called. And give it a thumbs up if you think that my experiences were cool. I also want to just say that being scammed by people is okay. Life lessons happen, but also it sucks because you put so much effort into things. That's the end of this video. Like this video, subscribe to me if you want to, because I always forget to say that. Alright, goodbye. Ow, I keep hurting myself. Okay, goodbye. Deuces. Woohoo! Goodbye. I also just really want to say that this isn't in focus, but oh look, now it is. Look at my face. I really like my hair today. And I'm sick. Boom. Alright. Bye. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you like and subscribe.